You are not alone. You can feel lonely and you can create isolation within yourself, but you are not alone. Your feelings and your thoughts are not original. Everyone goes through these waves of emotions and these phases of emotions and these changes and change of thoughts, but that is not a reason to give up on yourself, and that's not a reason just to wish your life away. I have been there and I know how you feel, and I'm still battling this. I'm not going to say I'm perfect and I'm not ever going to go through this again, but I have been there. When I was super young, like maybe 12, 13 years old, I just remember being in the car with my mom and just having this horrible habit. Like, that's just when I physically can really remember, take strands of my hair and just keep picking and pulling them out, and it would feel so good. It would just feel like a relief to me. And like a couple months later, I noticed that I looked in the mirror and I noticed that I had a couple bald spots on the back of my head, and I pretty much had a breakdown. And oh god, this is hard to talk about. It's like I'm living it again. It's so weird. As I got older, I realized that this wasn't just a bad habit. It was more of emotional triggers leading to this bad habit. And it was mostly anxiety. And as I got a little bit more older, that's kind of when depression came on. And with depression, I don't know if you guys know anything about it. When we go through emotional phases, everyone does. Again, everyone goes through these emotional phases, but with depression, I feel like it's just way more intense. And we really, just like when we're down, we have a really hard time picking ourselves back up. And it can and it does lead to suicidal thoughts most of the time. But other than my bad habit, that's just an example. Everyone has their own way of breaking down, or everyone has their own toxic thoughts going through their mind. Whether you have depression or not, I think we all go through ups and downs in our lives. I don't want to sit here and tell you like tip 1, tip 2, tip 10. These are things that worked for me and you should try them and they worked for you. I'm just here to be with you. I'm just here to say that I know how it feels, and I've been there, and I've been to the point where I wake up and wish I wasn't awake, and I would just get by through the day. Like, it would be so hard to get by through just 12 hours of my day without thoughts of just not wanting to live, or without just self-doubt thoughts and just toxic thoughts just taking over me. And I have woken up several times and I have felt hopeless, and I have felt so worthless that I would just completely isolate myself and push everyone around me, just push them away. I would try to sleep all day, and if I couldn't sleep, take a whole bunch of Benadryl so I can sleep, just sleep off these toxic thoughts, and just think that maybe if I just sleep enough that like all this would go away, and all these feelings and all this negativity would just go away. And it never did. It just got worse and worse and worse until I made that choice. I made that choice to fight for my happiness. I made that choice to say, I want to be happy and I want to live. And you have to take that step to make that choice. Just taking that step of wanting to be happy, or making the decision in your head just to say, I want to pick myself up out of this rot that I'm in, because I know that I deserve better. Just taking that step and saying, I want to love, and I want to be loved, and I want to be happy. I want to wake up. I love waking up. I want to love being alive, and I want to love my life, and I want to love myself and take care of myself. That is so much. And it's not going to happen overnight, but just taking that step, just that small step, acknowledging that thought right there, means that you are willing to fight for yourself and you are willing to fight for your happiness. When you wake up, think about that thought, act on that thought. Tell yourself that you want to live. Tell yourself that you want to love living, that you want to be happy. Just keep telling yourself that you are breathing and your heart is beating to keep you alive. People don't even have that choice to be alive, yet to feel alive. It's okay to not be okay sometimes. Just nurture yourself through the toughest times, because when the happy time comes and when that feeling of being alive and just loving to be alive, it's so worth it. It's worth feeling every second of. And thanks for just taking the time to listen to this video.